Okay. Okay, awesome. So we created a series for the first quarter called the Glow Up series. This is gonna bug me, so hold on one second. And the focus of that for the Home Hub, which services all 3 offices in Salt Lake County, the focus for us was, what do agents need to glow up or improve in their real estate business? So last month at our Salt Lake office, we talked about improving your online presence. So we looked up our social channels, our LinkedIn, our old websites hanging out there. We cleaned that up a little bit. Today, we're going to be talking about just your website specifically. And then next month, we're going to be teaching the Glow Up series in Mid-Valley, Midvale, Cottonwood Heights. It has a few names, that office. What do you call it, Monica? You're from that office. My office. Yeah, my office. It has many names, but we'll be teaching the last series of the Glow Up series there, and it's going to be specifically around your database. So we've got a lot of fun planned for the whole year, but the first quarter, this was our focus. And websites is a huge piece of any business, but specifically a real estate agent's business. And so I wanted to start. I'm going to pretend that none of you have been to any of the meetings that we've had regarding the Home Hub and our new version 2. I know some of you had, so hold on with us for 5 minutes as we just rehash this piece because it's going to be important for the class. The Home Hub, so kwhomehub.com, has been our platform for the last year. And agency, and when I say agency, that always means Sawyer Norman right here and Kaylee Wright. They are over that group. Agency is actually the one that built our Home Hub platform. So version 2 is truly a glow up of version 1. And it basically, we answered all of the problems and questions that agents had about how it was displayed. And so I'm going to go to the first page. The best way, okay, here, I'm going to answer my own question. And then you tell me, no, wrong. So we go to the same website, kwhomehub.com. That's our platform. We just changed the tab right here that says Agent Services. So services for agents, right? Pretty straightforward. So if you're like, cool, I already have a Home Hub login. If you have never logged into version 2, you do not. You have to go create one. But the cool thing is there is not, there's a little message about, are you licensed in one of the 3 locations or are you affiliated with one of the 3 locations in Salt Lake County, but we don't have an approval process. So it's really easy. So all you're going to do, if you haven't done this already, is go to create your Home Hub account, sign up with email, and go fill out those 4 pieces of information, your first name, last name, email, and designate a password. Go click on Agent Services at the top if you go to kwhomehub.com. And then you will be in version 2. If you already, and if you already have an account, then I'm just going to take a second and log in. So this is another glow up of just overall our training experience. I know last year when I taught all of those marketing and tech classes, some of you were involved. We would scan a QR code for all of the content that Kimber had affiliated with the class I was teaching. And then everyone's like, wait, what's a QR code? And then they'd be like, I don't have my email. So then it was a little bit crazy. So for all of our trainings now, when we're talking about content that you all can use, we're going to always host it on our version 2 platform. I'm going to show you that, but that's part of this glow up. So that's why it's important that if you're following along with us, that you get onto it. So again, I'll just quickly go through these mouse clicks again. kwhomehub.com. You go click on Agent Services. You go to create your account. If you have not on version 2 already, if you have, you're just going to log in. And then once you log in, this is what you're going to see. Okay, so why we set up version 2 with the services for agents separately is because we wanted to be very clear of all of the pillars of services you have available to you as being part of this brokerages. So these are what I would consider the primary pillars. We've got marketing your listing, your website, which is this class. If you are here to learn about websites, you are in the right spot. There is marketing suite section, engaging your SOI, updating your branding, and then client gifting and referral. So those 6 pillars are currently kind of the foundation of what, when we're teaching and driving services to you, these are the ones that we have currently hosted. And the nice thing is, I know that Sawyer is big about aesthetic and he's already planning out what the next 2 are so that there can be an even 8. And sky's the limit. Yep. Yeah. I already know, like I just know that about your brain, but the cool thing is that if you need it, the end game is if agents need it to run a high level business, we're going to have it here, we're going to host it here, and we're going to have 3 levels of options for you for all of those. So that's just kind of the quick why on Home Hub and version 2. If I go click on a website, this is what we're talking about today. So every category of those 6 pillars that I just showed you, every one has 3 levels. So the first one is do it yourself, and that's this class. We're doing it ourselves. However, in an hour and a half, you may be like, just kidding, I'm not doing it myself. So this is why I'm just setting the stage now, and then we'll be assessing how we're feeling at the end. So do it yourself is truly, here are the resources. This is part of your technology fee that you pay every month. Here are some resources in order for you to use your KW site at the highest level. The middle is done for you. So what that is here are the tools that we provide for you. However, that class I went to today, Kimber, was like this. This is the graphic for that, right? Done for you is this, where you recognize the value of it, but you want to pay somebody to just help you run the play. So we're going to talk about custom pages, embedding URLs. I know some of you may get up and walk out because you're like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't get offended. It's okay. Sari's already like, I gotta leave early. I'm like, it's good. But I might overwhelm somebody with us talking about HTML embeds. And so we have a done for you option in the sense of you just want to pay somebody to go implement your free site. The third option, though, is always, and I know we have a lot of pro people in here as far as people that have paid for a pro agency website. I want a custom site. Like I have a custom brand. I have specific communities. I have like 3 builders I'm working with. Like whatever the situation is, I need to pay to invest in creating a website, and this is that section. So luckily I've partnered with Sawyer and Kaylee today. So we're going to talk about just websites in general, why this is important for agents. I'm going to go through the how-tos on your KW site. And then at the end, they're just going to specifically speak to if the pro is the section that is most appealing to you, the size of your team, the size of your business, and obviously your budget, then we'll have all the bases covered. Any questions about how we have this laid out? And just know we're still on the journey. And everyone has a V2 account now. Okay, awesome. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to have agency come up and just speak to just websites in general. Sawyer has been doing this a long time. He knows way more than me about all the search engine optimization and all those fun conversations. So I'm going to have him go through kind of the how, why, everything on the websites, and then we can kind of dig into command and all that good stuff.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so good to see all of you. Again, every time I see more people that I recognize, which is great, and I'm still learning and meeting all of you. So I'm Sawyer. I have worked with the Home Hub for almost 2 years now, and then agency me and Kaylee run and build a ton of websites, branding, and I do a lot of strategy for you agents. And we also do a lot of business outside of real estate, which is kind of fun. So I've been doing this for about 8 years. It's one of my favorite things, and I love chatting about it. And I especially love what we're doing with V2. And so I'm grateful for Kimber being able to teach us this. And this was, again, one of the biggest feedback requests that we got as we were doing version 1 of Home Hub is maybe some of these paid features aren't for me, but there's so many things that KW is offering. And we want to make sure that you have all those things. So let us know if you have any questions too on the basic setup of your V2 account. I think I've told all the offices, but any complaints about having 2 accounts, see me directly. I apologize. And we will jump right into this. So I wanted to chat through a couple slides. And so I also don't want to try to bore you guys with too much of the technical aspects of, is that sharing? Oh, sweet. Thank you. Beautiful. So I'm not gonna try to bore you guys with all the details of how to do and build a custom website. I really wanted to go a lot more high level and how your website can tie into your brand, which can tie into your business and then becomes an extension of your business. So I'm gonna ask a couple questions and I want some feedback and I want to have this be a little bit conversational. One of my favorite marketers of all time is Seth Godin. Does anyone know Seth? Couple people. Okay. Yeah, he's brilliant. He's a marketer, businessman. He's written books. Great guy. Has so many just analogies and things that are so basic that help us understand how to create businesses and grow and scale a business. And one of my favorite quotes from him is your website is your permission slip to tell your story to the world. Make it count. This to me is one of those things. So as you're thinking about your business and thinking about your brand, and if we go general marketing, it can be super overwhelming, right? It's billboards, it's print, it's do I sponsor a magazine? Do I put my stuff on social media and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and blah, blah, blah. It just goes on and on and on. And there's so many things that live on another platform. Like, I don't think it's going to happen, probably won't going to happen. But Facebook, if Facebook just decides one day it's like, hey, we're shutting down, you have no leverage. You can't call up Mark Zuckerberg and say, hey, Mark, dude, listen, I need this on because it's for my business. Whereas your website is one of the very few things that you can actually build, maintain, control, and edit yourself. And so, with that being said, it becomes your permission slip to tell your story. And when I say story, that can be the story of your business. It can be why people should work with you to make the biggest transaction of their life in buying a home or selling a home. And then it also is, again, it can be built to scale with you. So when someone lands on your page, it's not scaling with you in the sense of, hey, like every one of you should have a site. Every one of you does have a site if you're with KW. It though becomes a way that you can differentiate yourself. Who runs their business? And I always ask this, who runs their business the exact same as the agent next to them? Anyone? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man, we need all take notes. Shirley, turning the time over to you. I'm just kidding. Beautiful. Let's see. Little skipper. Here we go. So then I always chat again, like the internet is not going anywhere anytime soon. Does anyone raise your hand if you think that the internet is going to ever go away? Okay, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that the internet is our infrastructure, whether you like it or not. If you hate all the things and you're like, I don't use the internet or I don't find my service providers on the internet. Guess what? Other people do. Your clients are going to the internet and it's just never going, it's not even going to go backwards, right? It's never going to be like, hey, yeah, there was a peak in 2024 where everyone was on the internet. And then a couple years later, a couple people were still around. Like with any technology, like anything, AI, all these things, it's running through the internet. So as we're thinking about this, go. We don't mind. Yep.
Think about like, I wasn't around, but I've heard that there was the interstate system.
Mhm.
The interstate system is never going
Yep.
right? Like our world is built
Around it. Yep.
Like even how shipping is done is through the patterns of the interstate. So
Yep.
picture this as like the virtual interstate. There
Yep.
and the interstate is important in the delivery of
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly it, right? The internet's going to continue to evolve with these things, but our entire infrastructure is just built around the internet. And so our goal is to help you guys make sure that you're taking advantage of this, right? The traffic that's coming to your website, whether it's people that you know, whether it's your SOI, whether it's people that are not going to buy until 5 years, we want to make sure that you're capturing your little section of the internet so that it, again, has value. And so let me jump to this. So let's start here. So if someone was to go to your current website, or sorry, if you were to go to your current website, would you hire you? I want you to think about that. And I'm gonna pick on some. Woo! Robin's getting a discount. Let's go. Who's next? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Who else? And let's like this is open conversations. I want to have these conversations. Like who else? Who else would, if you go land on your site, would you hire yourself? Anyone? Yep. Yep. Yep, that's exactly it. And so Annie Cannon, I always pick on her. I love her to death. She was my first like actual real estate client, where we actually worked with her to build her website. Does anyone know roughly her volume that she does? It's very high. It's very, very high. And so when she came to us, she just said, "Hey, I basically don't have a website." She's like, "I don't really have anything that I point people to. And if you were to find me, you would think that I actually don't do any business, right? If someone stumbled upon her old site, it would look like she wasn't doing any business, but she was crushing it with a builder, working with clients all across the state, new construction, luxury agent, just absolutely crushing it. But her website didn't reflect that. And so she was an example of someone where she did not need her website to gather more leads. For her and her business, that was not the main goal of her business, or of her website. Her website was to show people, hey, I do a lot of business and you can trust me. And then we're going to get into this next question real fast is if each person in your SOI is going to then take your website and share it with their 10 closest friends, would they find what they need? Would they find something that actually represents you and your business? And that was a big thing for Annie. She's like, again, I know that it's not generating leads, but she knows that she's getting referrals left and right from people. And a big thing is, hey, here's my agent's website, or here's my service provider's website. Go check them out. So if you take your website and said, hey, my SOI is now going to blast this out to their 10 closest friends, how would you feel about that? Anyone? 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 We feeling good? We feel good about it? Yeah. We love that. Okay. Easy. Yep. Yep. Exactly. And that's kind of like, this is beautiful. And maybe these will be rhetorical questions if we don't want to talk about it. I will admit, I am really, really bad at my own stuff. If you know me, I hate talking about myself like a ton. I hate putting myself out there. I didn't have a website of my own for my company for a long time because I was probably like a lot of you, or I'm like, word of mouth is the way to go. Like, I just can do work for my clients and they can speak for me. I don't really need a website. It's not a big deal, even though I'm building websites. Poor example, but it was like I was at that same point where, again, my business was doing well. I was growing and getting a lot of referrals, and got to the point though, is I'm like, okay, if someone did land or find me and my website, like it probably doesn't accurately portray what I'm doing. And then that goes into like, I didn't even have a website. So if people were trying to refer me, it was text messages and saying, hey, I'm connecting you with so and so. They want their website built. Instead of, again, making my website an actual tool and an actual piece of my business that I could do. And then the part that this was really big for me and a ton of our agents is, your website is not to make you do business differently. Like, for most agents, their website is not to say, okay, I'm going to implement a website and now I'm changing the way I'm doing business. That's usually not the case. What we want you to take your website and do is say, this is now an extension or an add-on to the services that I'm already providing to people. And I want to be able to convey that I'm doing good work and I do work differently than the agent next to me. And my website is my little board or my little real estate section on the internet to tell that story. Does that make sense? Good, sweet. Let's keep it rolling. Then we'll jump into all of the actual hands-on stuff with Kimber. So a couple other questions. So what makes a good website? So a couple ones just off the bat as you're thinking about your own website, or websites that you've used or enjoy or like to look at, or one of your favorite service providers, maybe a vendor. Ask yourself, like, what makes a good website? Is it functional? Does it tell your story? Does it have your brand? And can it scale as you scale? So these are the questions that we're going to take into the next section as you're thinking through. And going back to what I said about KW and what I love this company is, you can make your free website do all of this. They handle all the functionality. You can add things into your sections on your free website that can start telling your story. There's ways that you can add your brand, and then it connects to your CRM and it can continue to scale with you and you can use it as a tool. So as we're going into the next section, this is really the questions, if you wanted to take a picture or just keep in your mind, that we want to try to answer for you as we roll out these tools. So I just mentioned that. So again, your website is a tool, an extension of your business. And then we'll get into this a little bit later on some of the services that we do and how we've helped some of our agents on some of our custom sites that we've done. But I'm going to kick it back over to Kimber and we'll get hands-on with the actual implementing of your sites. Any questions?
What like hard questions do you have? Like, if maybe you don't think you need a website, or you're just like, I don't know, like what hard questions do you have for? So what is your current website? So I guess, who do you pay for that website every month? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so your KW site does have a KW domain with it. So the free sites that we're going to talk about do have to run through your KW site. And so that would be like joeblack.kw.com. There is ways that you can though link your KW site to your pre-built site if needed.
And
But
are
it
you
will
paying monthly to host that? I'm assuming.
still
Okay.
host it.
Okay.
Good questions. Does that answer your question? And I can sit down with you too and kind of show you like how to link them essentially. Mhm. To your IDX. We did, yeah. Cool. What other question?
Um, I guess it's more of a comment,
Yeah.
and I feel like that, and it's a part. I don't.
Hold on, we're recording this, so
Oh, yeah.
someone's like, what question did she ask? Yes.
Yeah, I just feel like, oh, other people have already got these websites.
You were literally
and-
not late.
And,
just so you
and
know.
so I'm like, and the internet's been out there since like forever, and so how do you make a website and make it relevant quickly? Because I mean, it takes time to get it out there and stuff. I want to catch up
Yeah.
and then keep up.
Yep, for sure. So two quick things on that. So one is the internet, again, going back to this slide, the internet's not going anywhere, which is great news. So even if you're now just getting into websites, it's not too late. Like jump on the train because it's not going to be something that's like a trend that you just jump on and then you get left behind. And then the second one, and how to drive your traffic, and we'll show you kind of like some of the tools of getting your free KW site set up, but is again using your website as a tool or an extension of your business. And so that can be as simple as, hey, I'm going to create a landing page that's going to be, hey, enter your information for a home valuation. I'm then going to put a QR code in all my flyers, or I'm going to talk to all of my listing presentation people and I'm going to say, hey, check me out on my website. If you could leave a review to past clients and have them go to your website. There's a lot of ways that you can drive like quick traffic to people that you already know. And then in terms of the SEO, so search engine optimization, that is more of a long-term play. So ranking, where you rank on Google searches and creating blog content, that is more of a long-term game, where again, it's not too late still. Put it out, and that goes back to like your brand. Anything that you can do to differentiate yourself, put it online. So if it's blog posts, if it's here's my top 10 tips of how working with me, things that are real estate related that can live online will help your long-term SEO. That's very high level basic stuff, but it's not too late.
So
John.
have we put that, would you like, market analysis on your home on our website?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to talk
Yeah.
about that.
You gonna do that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yep. So lead capture, lead forms, and then, like I said, at the end, I'll show you some of the ways that we've worked with some of our custom clients and building out sites that are very tangible for their specific business. But yes, you can absolutely create landing pages. We'll go through that. Any other questions before we kick it over and get into the actual nitty gritty?
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah,
Boom.
and this is your I was like I wanted to like hold this because you can't hear, right? Because you can hear now. Okay. This is defeats the purpose of this mic, but I'm doing it anyways. What? Oh yeah, there you go. It's like right on my extensions. They're sewn in, so they won't fall out. Just kidding. Okay. So the disclaimer I would just have for the next hour is this is meant to be the mouse clicks, the walkthrough, the how to, the hands-on. If you do not have your laptop or that also again overwhelms you and you just want to be like a keen observer of life right now, that's totally fine. I'm not going to be like, excuse me, you're not following along. And when you're following along with something more technical, there are going to be a couple of people that are maybe a couple steps behind. That's totally fine. We'll just have some pause points. I've already, based on going through the curriculum of this class, I've already identified the need of us basically having a few tech bars in each location throughout the month of March so that if your KW website is on your list of things that need to be tackled, we'll have those in each location that again are going to be like smaller groups, even more hands-on than we are right now. So I'm just letting you know that now. So if that need starts to bubble when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed, that you know that that's going to be something that we prioritize on our training calendar coming up in the next 30 days. Okay. So we're going to start with the very, very basic logistics, which is welcome to commandagent.kw.com is how you get there. And you will need to log in. And if you do not have your login, you've already set up your website. Cool. Yeah, you're just going to wait for a minute until we've caught up. Yeah. So KW, one of our big releases for it happened right at the end of 2023 was new and improved sites. Specifically the look, but obviously there was a lot of different features that were rolled out with our new sites. So in your comment of late to the game, this is the first training that we have had on a regional or market center level about KW sites. So you are just right on time. Okay. in the section of consumer, so if you go click on KW, the very bottom section is consumer.
All right.
Yeah.
KW.com comes up to now.
That's where we're going.
All right.
Yep. And this is why this is my soapbox. I stand on it sometimes. This is why I love the KW sites. And by the way, even our pro sites integrate your KW IDX because I don't think that they should be separate. The more that things are separate, the less leverage you have, the more confusion you have in your business. Like I will stand on that soapbox all day. And so that's what's nice is that even people looking at properties, favoriting, hearting, asking to look at stuff, our KW IDX is still used even in the pro site. So this is in command. We're in command and we're managing our website right now. So what some of you have noticed is yours doesn't look like that. Is that your face and your hand right now? Yep. It is because you have not upgraded to the new experience. So, we,
Do want to. Because it's
You
gonna give
do.
us a whole bunch of things that says, you know, if you do this.
yeah, so you do want to upgrade. So, that piece of go and update your site and keep going, you want to go through that process. You're going to get one notice that is important. So I just want you to know about this notice. The notice you will get is that any old landing pages that you set up in 2019 don't get to come with you. Most likely, you don't even know what landing page you set up in 2019. And there will always be somebody that's like, I spent 20 hours coding a custom. You guys are impressive. If anyone is in that boat, let me know. I want to talk to you after. But most likely, you aren't going to need any of the custom pages you set up anyways. And we're going to be setting up new and improved. Yes.
If I'm currently running landing pages, do I need to create them again?
They will still exist. They're just not going to be hosted on your new site. So I think I know how you use them. You should be fine. And you're going to learn today a solution that will help with how you're probably going to do it moving forward, just based on the combos I know we've had. So this is your first step. I'm going to do, yes. Yeah, we'll go through that. Most likely, are you on the consumer right now? You're on this page. Okay. Okay, so yours might be on the legacy ones. Okay, Nate's coming to look at it to see. There could be a team aspect with yours, and that's why I was just thinking. The other pause I want to take is I know there's team members in here. So let me explain quickly how team websites work now with command. So every individual, meaning I am an agent and I have a license at Keller Williams, you will always have a personal site just because you do, right? It doesn't matter if you're on a team or not. Your personal site will always exist and it will remain intact even if you just ignore it for 10 years, okay? So the consumer section we're in right now, this is the personal site. I am going to jump over to teams. Specifically, I'm like, I am, but I don't need someone's login. But I'm going to show you what that looks like on the team side. So if you are on a team, so everyone heard if you're a personal, you can still use that even if you're on the Shirley Rickman team. That's not what it's called, but there we go. Okay, hold on. I don't know if he's on a team, so we'll see. Oh, I'm using my keyboard to type. You guys get out of here. Okay. He's not on a team, then this is going to be problematic. Oh, he's not. Of course he's not. I might have cleared it. Nate, are you set up as a team? Okay, that's very not helpful. Just kidding. No, well, we can't do anything about this point, but thanks. Okay, I'm just gonna walk you through this. If you are a rainmaker, yes? Shy Tower. Okay, do you want to maybe come over here so you don't have to shout your login? It's password 123. I just want you guys to have a visual of this. And again, if you're not on a team, is it that? Apparently I know how to. Oh. Yeah. Have you already upgraded yours?
Yeah, I meant
Okay.
to create the website. That's why I'm like, you can do
Okay,
mine.
cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly show you this visual for a team because it's important. As the rainmaker of a team, you have access to do what I'm about to show you. So if you're like, well, I'm a member of a team, then you're good. You can just hang out for a second. Okay, so under your team account, if you are a rainmaker, under your connect settings and marketing profile, so you'll see this information. See how most of it's empty? That's because Terry has not done this yet, okay? So under your, you see how it says team marketing profile. If I switch to Terry personal, it wouldn't be showing this, okay? So I'm in Terry's team leader rainmaker account, and now it says team marketing profile. So this part, you're gonna have to like put on your list to do because it will take 24 hours anyways, even if you filled this out right now. But you're basically going to set up your team profile, which then allows you to have a true team website. So we don't have enough context in this room probably to get crazy cheer and applause because it was really quiet when I said that. But we have not had team websites until just now. Just kidding. Okay, so now a team can truly operate a team website, have a team URL, and then obviously the agents personally can still have one. Audrey. Okay, I love it. Okay, perfect. Yes, that is like the most common hang up I'm noticing. So yes. Okay, so you're gonna go through, yes.
My hang up is that when I go to consumer,
Mhm.
it automatically switches me from team to Rainmaker.
Yep.
And how do I get past that to make the website?
Yeah, so what we're looking at right now. So first, what Monica just said is a really good point. She is on a team and she manages the team, right? You're pretty interchangeable with the Rainmaker as far as the operations and stuff. You have all the keys.
Wishes that he was-
You have all the keys. Yes, you have all the passwords and all the keys. Yes. So, so the consumer section is only made for personal. So when you're hitting that snag, it's because that is not where your team website will ever be managed.
Okay.
So that answers your question. Yes. So how you will set up your team site, and again, we're just going to spend 2 more minutes on this for any rainmakers. You will go fill out this profile. You will go click go through, click forced registration. This is, do you want unrestricted viewing on your site? Do you want them to get stopped at 2 properties, 10 properties, as far as when they have to actually sign up for your site? Filling out your social profiles, all that, and then going to click save. Once you click save, the screen that will pop up will be where you go designate your team subdomain or your team URL. That basically just how you usually do it in personal, you'll do it in team. But you don't see that yet until you go complete this profile and click save.
Well, and create the website, the new agent experience, right?
Yeah.
Cause that's done, but I have never signed up for the agent.
Yep. Yeah. So for a team, your homework is going to be going and completing this profile, going to click save, and then you designate, meaning, or you claim a subdomain. From the time you claim a subdomain, it will be 24-hour waiting period before you can go in and edit your site. If I had the why behind that, I would tell you right now, but I don't. Yes.
Building a team, we can actually, instead of having just our personal name, we could then have a team name.
And you will have both. You wouldn't be driving both, right? But both will always exist. And that's important for the fact of, like, we leave teams, we stay on teams, we change names of teams, like all that, right? You being an agent at Keller Williams, that's the constant. So it's like, there's the personal profile. And then if you're affiliated with a team, you get put under their umbrella and you'll be on there as for a profile and all that. Okay. So that is for that. This was for my teams in the room, but we're going to just say again, everything that we do as far as how I show you how to edit the site will be the exact same on the team site versus now. There will just be a couple of other little features, like you can put your team members. I wanted to make sure that was still on. You can put your team members, like names and profiles, that kind of stuff. Okay. So now we're back in consumer. You've updated to the new consumer experience. And now I'm going to go click, I'm going to click edit my website. But first I'm going to go through these settings for you really quick. So your subdomain is something that you want to claim that you don't want anyone else in KW to be able to use. So Terry has designated TSG Realty.kw.com because that is her brand. If she owns tsgrealty.com, then she can always direct it to this website, right? So just you want to designate a subdomain even if you own one, because this will be the actual domain that shows up. Are we good? Just tell me if you're not. Just kidding.
Don't have an outside subdomain within Keller Williams if I want. I totally change it from Janet Zimmerman.
Yeah.
to Janet Zimmerman, the greatest.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I would suggest shorter.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. And then also there will be limitations with things like restricted trademarks like realtor. So you can't use like Kimber the realtor.kw.com. They won't allow that. They won't allow. You're like, dang it. Yeah, that would be. You can have one for your personal and then the team can have one. Mm-mm. No. Okay. And then I can enable things like the Keller Covered app, the home loans. I can either enable or disable. Usually, if you've got a strong preferred lender relationship, they would maybe prefer you click disable on that. And then display neighborhoods on my site, I can enable that or disable that. I'll show you what that looks like. And then I could save any changes I just made in that section. This is similar to what I just showed you in Teams. Forced registration is important. I am going to stand on the soapbox of 2 might be okay, 10's great. I wouldn't do no and I wouldn't do unrestricted. Giving someone a carrot, right? Or having the pursuit of the carrot is important. So if they land on your site and they go click on a house, they're like, that's cute. And they get, log in, give me your information. Let them look at a couple houses, right? Give them a cookie and then they'll stay longer. So I'm usually in the 2 or 10 range. And then again, you just save that. So those are just a couple of the settings specific to your site. Clicking edit is where we're going to start getting crazy. Who's scared? I just clicked explore on my own. Here we go. Yes.
Error when I hit save, application error, a client side exception has occurred,
Oh, okay. On what section?
where we're just at.
Oh.
I clicked the disable the lender and I clicked the 2 on the number.
Nate's coming to save you. Okay. So what we're looking at now is probably, I'm going to actually jump back over to mine because I've gone in and created some things. Okay, Walton 2.
Can you change your subdomain at some point?
You can always change it as long as it's not claimed already. Yeah. And I'll show you an example. So like mine is, if I owned kimberwalton.com and I had redirected it, once it redirects, your subdomain will show at the top. So even if all of your real estate signs say tsgrealty.com, right? You want your subdomain to be somewhat relevant to your real estate business because when it redirects, it will show here at the top. Okay. Okay, so what you're probably noticing is that mine looks a tiny bit different than yours. Based on the top, I'm going to go to Terry's. Okay, so Terry's would be a better example of what would be the standard that you start out with before you edit anything. What that is you have an About Me page, you have a search properties stage, you have a blog, and then you have a more section that has a review. Okay. In the middle, people can search for homes, you can designate featured properties, you can go create blogs. So KW has put in 4 separate blogs that are specific to first-time home buyers. They're great articles, but they are meant to be like placeholders. Like you can go and add blogs and edit those as you would like. And then you've got your contact info right here. So the cool thing is with Terry, she's a good example of why we created team sites, because you were making your personal site a team site, right? And now that we have a team site, your personal would probably just have more of like your headshot or personal representation. Daylise? No, but thank you for your suggestion. Unfortunately, one of the primary colors of KW is red. That's why. I feel you though. I don't like blue for reasons everyone knows that knows me. BYO, just kidding. Okay, so I'm more of a U fan. Okay, so then this is what the true KW site looks. This is what mine looks like. And the reason why it looks this way is because I'm going to show you guys a couple of little things that you can do that are going to personalize your site a little bit. So if I go click on back to consumer, and I go click edit my site. So now I'm in this like, what the heck do I do section, okay? So what you're doing with your KW site that you customize is you're basically going in and creating custom pages, but then you're designating where they go. So I am going to walk through step by step customizing one page, and I promise you it's going to take like almost the rest of the time, just because there's a lot of like mouse clicks. And yet we have what's really nice. I'll jump back over to here. For do it yourself, we have your guide to setting up your free site, a video on embedding your custom property site, how you create a custom menu bar, and the template that we're going to talk about. So all of the how do I do it step by step is here. So if you miss a detail in this training, just know our resources are right here on version 2. You can jump back over to them. Yeah.
Most of my frustration, as you know, with command is that I expect it to do what I want it to do. Would you tell us what exactly?
That's fair. I'm not going to repeat that for the recording. Just kidding.
What is it that is not editable on our website? Like if I'm trying to change out the hero page, am I gonna be doing that for 30 years and it's never gonna change? Like you said, the red is there. She
Yeah.
can't move the red.
Yeah.
So what are the things that are there forever?
Yeah.
Don't try to edit that.
Yeah, so really that's actually a great question. So the main page is meant to be obviously like featured properties, like which featured properties based on which search criteria that's able to be edited. Featured testimonials, like I can't change the layout of this, but I can keep adding featured testimonials. I can be editing blogs, but I can't take away I can take away if a blog is or isn't on there, right? Like the features. And then obviously the footer is pretty static. The main customization, so there's a little bit of editing with this. The main customization is that anything you put on the top as a custom page, the world is your oyster. We can go create whatever pages that we want on here based on what you're wanting to drive. So does that
Yes.
help?
We're changing the widgets. We're not changing the overall look.
And you have a high ability to customize pages, meaning like create ones that out of thin air simply by code. You're like, I'm a coder now. I just want to sell real estate. Yes.
About the transparency thing over.
Tell me more.
So
Probably not, but tell me more so I can pass along. Yeah.
That's not how dark the picture really is. KW puts like that dark transparency over it,
Mm-hmm.
and I want my picture to be vibrant.
Oh, yeah. So that edit, but I want to pick on you, but pick on you in a good way, right? The personalized, like what I want something to look like, I put a high value on that. Like I am team aesthetic. If it doesn't look good, probably doesn't feel good to me. And some people are like, well, whatever. Like I don't really care what it looks like as long as it functions. I'm team aesthetic for sure. If something like that bugged me enough, then that's where I would be like, okay, like, is that something that I want to, maybe try to personalize more? Or do I want to, personalize in the sense of, do I want to have something a little bit more custom? And I understand that's an easy comment to make because obviously there's cost associated with that. But the why behind why they do it is they want that search bar to be as prominent as possible. And it can be a design thing, but design is so individual. So I'm saying that and I hear you. Yeah. Okay, so the complaints, I will stand here after and you can firing squad them at me. Just kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, I definitely, and that's again why I led with that beginning of like, what do we want? Like, what do we want and where do we fall under? And already when I start pulling up this code, you guys are going to be like, what? So anyways, the personalized custom pages. So it doesn't necessarily, who feels like they know they could be at least a beginning level coder? Like, at least what you're more than beginning, get out of here. Yeah. Okay. But that again, we're real estate agents. We sell houses, we make deals, we talk to people. we're really good at like building relationships. Like, what? No, right? So again, that's one comment that we're going to make with this. So this is basically what's already created for this site. And this is immaterial because yours is going to look a little bit different. So what we're going to do is these 3 little hamburger menu, hot dog, hamburger, something, some type of food. I'm going to go click on organization site. Okay, so what you're going to see is you're going to see your name, you're going to see your market center, that's a KWUID, so that's just specific to you. And then you're going to have a custom navigation. On the 3 dots or the 3 hot dogs right here,
Admin,
just on the main page.
back one screen, I think.
Oh,
So it says lead page, stay on page, then the lead page.
so go click on these 3 lines right here. And then admin and then organization site. Okay, so again, what I'm showing you is high level, right? So the most advanced user of command is stoked about what I'm talking to you about, and the beginner person of command like wants to leave this room right now. Because this is a little bit more complicated, but I'm going to try to make it more simple. Okay, so on yours is going to look a tiny bit different, but does yours say when you click on the navigation provider, does it says custom or inherited, right? So inherited would switch me back to Terry's website where it's got the nice, like, I have a site, I have it plugged in. And this is also the takeaway. This class is called Glow Up Your KW Site. It isn't called How Your Site Comes, right? So how your site comes is throw that domain on your business card. Your website's ready to be used at a high level. You don't have to do anything. Sweet. But this class is glow up your existing site. So the reason why we're going into the customize is because I want to show you the really cool features that you can add to it. So that's the difference, is you don't need to do all of this to have your KW site functioning at a high level. By just clicking upgrade, if you have the legacy sites, you're good now. Alexi. Yep. They're just like undo. Yeah. But the custom is where I want to lay out what those top sections look like. I may want to keep about, I may want to keep the leave a review page, but maybe I don't like one of the others and I want to add 3 more. So this is why we're customizing them a little bit. So I am going to show you what I feel like is the most common thing that people ask for with customized pages on a website. Who wants to guess?
Home value.
Home value, that's the second. And that, yes, yes. What'd you say? Okay, love it. Yes. Landing pages, but landing pages in the sense of I have a listing and I want a dedicated page for that listing on my site so that when I say, look how awesome this house is, and I'm directing them to my site. I'm not directing them to somewhere outside of my site. Those 3 answers were all correct answers, okay? The nice thing is what we're gonna go through in a minute is it's universal. So being able to add an HTML, we're gonna learn some of these terms today, an HTML code onto any site that allows for it. Actually, the world is your oyster with that. There are a lot of different platforms, specifically like Cloud CMA. Cloud CMA, I don't know who uses Cloud CMA. If you literally went on the MLS, clicked Cloud CMA, up at the top, there is lead generation as an option in your menu, and there is a button that says the word embed. You can put a Cloud CMA lead capture feature on your KW site just by clicking that word embed. But we're all like, we didn't know what the word embed meant. We know what Facebook means, but what does embed mean? So that's what we're going to talk about right now. That's an example. I wanted to show you though, for featuring a property, how simple it could be to go and put that on your KW site. Yes.
If you embed, is it gonna take them to the third party then? Are they once again redirected, or is it living on that landing page?
So it depends on how the embed is coded. Very loaded question. And I believe how the Cloud CMA one would be, or like my preferred lender has a HomeBot plugin. Most likely, because it's embedded, it will go into the wherever that code says to take the lead. But the
Practice it
reason,
first, make sure.
yeah, but the reason why, and that's like, we're on level 3000 right now, but like level 5000 is like, you can tell a lead to go anywhere through systems like Zapier. But that's way too nerdy. Only me and Audrey want to go to that class. Yeah. Okay, you're all invited, but like you'll all want to leave too. Just kidding. Okay, so then I'm gonna go custom. Custom's a scary word, right? Because we're doing it on our own. That basically means we're doing it on our own. Okay. So then I already have one created, but right below it, we're gonna click create new. I'm going to show you one thing we're going to add on here. So we're not going to go down too much of a rabbit hole. We're not going to add 5 things, but this skill is important for the custom pages. Internal and external is important on this platform. So internal by definition means only I will see it. External means I need to care what this says because people on the outside will see it, right? So for internal name, this is just so I have a frame of reference of what this is going to be called. So you saw I called my last navigation Kimber's navigation. So you could just call this like my navigation. Again, no one's going to see it. You can call whatever you want. This isn't about the page though. This is what you're calling like the navigation. So it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to go add items, and then I'm just going to say simple navigation. Again, there is a video on our V2 that walks through this step by step. So if you just want to like hang out with us for the next 20 minutes, you're good too. So then it's going to ask for navigation link, text, and then an item, okay? So a common thing that people will add is their recent listings, recent properties. I have learned enough from my broker that you don't necessarily want to advertise things in the status that they're currently in, because then you're bound to continue to notify the public of the status of that property. Meaning I am personally not going to call something my active listings, because now I have 5 listings in that list. And if they're not all active, that could be a little loophole. I mean, I'm not a broker, so who knows how much and how often that gets reported, but I am the marketing person here to try to make sure you're compliant. So I'm just going to call that something like recent listings, recent properties. That doesn't hold me to communicating the status of said properties. Does that make sense? Is that rule still a thing or outdated? Brokers. Huh, okay, good. See, just keeping you guys safe. Okay. So then I'm just going to call it recent listings. And then again, down here, internal or external, it just depends on what I'm adding. So under item, I am not going to add anything right now because I'm just creating the navigation menu. If I had a landing page right now, then I could go select it, which I do because I've created them in the past, but we haven't gone in and created ours. So all I'm going to do right now,
When we're
Yeah.
selecting, are we selecting from our command landing pages?
yes, yes, yeah. Oh, so she's saying, are we selecting from our landing pages that are available on the Bright Spot on the KW site? And the answer is yes, because it's like how Designs works in Command, where if you say, hey, I want to add this awesome email to a smart plan, if the email doesn't already exist in Designs, you can't select it. So you always want to think, and I almost did this as on purpose, of you want to have the content there first and then say, what do I want to do? If that makes sense. So it's not letting me save because I don't have it. So I probably did this the wrong way. We'll go back through this really quick. We'll come back to this when I go assign it, but just to quickly revisit, we're in organization site, we're creating a custom navigation and we're naming it something. And then now we're basically going in and building out what are the pages that apply to that. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my dashboard. And here's what I learned, because I know you'd be surprised by this, but KW doesn't pay for flight, hotel, room, and board to fly me out to a 3-day intensive of tech. They're like, websites are live. You're a regional tech trainer. Got this. So I teach myself most of everything, right? So what I didn't like about learning sites was all of this and all of this. This is confusing to me. I love this little plus sign because basically where I'm going is I'm saying, okay, what do I want to add? And I'm picking from that list. Isn't that so much easier to navigate than all of the, okay. So there are some things that are templated. For example, like there's a mortgage calculator. Like we could go just pull that up as a page. I am going to go click on this HTML embed because I'm going to show you an actual example of a property, of a way you can do a property site. So I'm going to go click that. But you guys can see there's a lot of options. So internal name, again, is just what do I want to call it? So when I go pull it up later, I know what it is. I am just going to call it like the address of the listing, let's say. And then here is the raw HTML. Okay. So I'm going to jump back over to the Home Hub. You'll see this link that says single property landing page Canva template. Did you know before today you can create a single property landing page in Canva? Monica, stop being such teacher's pet. Just kidding. No, she's very smart. No, so one person. There's like 50 people in here. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm gonna go click on it. Chris Jones is in the room. Thanks, Chris Jones, for selling beautiful houses because we used it as an example. Okay, so I have someone on his team, Tracy. I have her info on here. So I'm going to zoom in. So what's nice about this in Canva is I have already made it the size that will be advantageous to the size of that website page. So what I have done is just like, here is this awesome listing. Here's the agent's contact info. This is the wrong address. Chris is probably like, it's actually 16, maybe not. I did switch those. And I linked the address, and I'm going to show you what this looks like, but I linked the address to my IDX just so if anyone went and clicked on it, they could even see more info about the property. You don't have to do that. And then I have their logo, I have South Valley's logo, I have pictures of the listing, the details, property, bedroom, acreage, MLS number, what it's selling for, put some exterior features and the local schools, and then pictures of the neighborhood, right? So this is a template. When you're on version 2 of the Home Hub under the website page, we just have it linked right here under or set up my website. Okay, so then this is how I'm gonna get the code. So this is a template if you're like, I use a different font, right? This is where you could go change it to your font. This is where, yes. Yeah, so if you're in version 2 and then you click on the set up my website section, then it'll pull this up and it's just in the do it yourself column and it says single property landing page.
Okay, so I got.
Under kwhomehub.com under agent services. Yeah.
But it says the template created by Timberwall was shared with you, start designing now. So we have to design it. Where do we go to get that information that we just designed?
Yeah, so you'll click the, does it say use as a template? The only other thing you'll need to do, you won't need a pro account, but you will need a Canva account.
It's just free. Where is that?
I can help you with that. Yeah. Okay. So then I would go customize this. This isn't my listing. This is South Valley proper. So I'm going to go change out my pictures, all of that. And then under share, one of the options in Canva is embed. So you guys are probably learning, where else can I find this embed thing that Kimber just told me about? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because when you go click embed, you're going to have a smart embed link. So I could go and just like paste this and it would open it up. I mean, again, I made it the size that goes on a website. So that would be a weird use case, but yes, you could, because after you've gone and built it out, you can go resize anything. And then HTML embed, you can go plug that into a MailChimp that has a code section. Yeah. Under share, and then hold on, I'm going to do it. So click more, and then there's the word embed. Okay, so I'm going to go copy this. Yes.
But can't ever touch that. You need to lock it, right?
We're going to go through it.
Okay, I'm just saying in Canva, if you were to make changes in Canva, that embed link is specific to to that page, not to that
Yes.
design as you see it in that moment, right?
Yep. Yeah. So good point. So if I went and created one for the listing down the street, I'm going to go make a copy of that because this code is now tied to a site. So if I change this one day to like, but therein lies the value is because let's say they do a price reduction and they change this to $845, them going in and changing this Canva template makes their website updated. So there's value in that, but proceed with caution, right? Because then you could go make a whole new one and then you're like, now my website has the wrong one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and
I know doing something if I touch it.
for sure. I love that. So then after I copy the link, I'm going to jump back over to my HTML embed. Okay, so there's a couple of things we have to change about the code. Believe me, I acknowledge the overwhelm that's in this room right now, but it's all part of it. So I have to change two things. One is the last part of the code. I don't want this copy of property landing page. That's the name of the Canva template. Like that's going to show on my website if I don't delete that. And then the other thing that I'm going to change. So the weird thing about HTML code, I want all of you to go home today and say, I learned how to code. Just say that. Yeah. Uh-huh. How it pulls from Canva, it's basically code says, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to have it full screen? What size do you want it? Do you want it to be in a watch or a view? Like those are things that, again, as real estate agents, we don't want to know. We just want to sell houses, but we want to change watch to view. And then that by itself, you could see it showed the pictures and then it added a little bit of the animation to this. So now I'm going to go click publish.
Why does yours have so much in the raw HTML? When I copied and pasted the link, it was.
So if you go share more embed, you're going to copy this HTML embed code. Yeah, there's a couple of links you could update. So that's pretty, yeah, it gets crazy. Okay, so now I have published that. This landing page exists. Good job. And now it's not on my website yet. So I have to go and add it to my website. Yes, Jake in the back. Oh, yes. Okay. I didn't start with this because I didn't want to like overwhelm me with like another Google Doc and like coding and stuff. But when we do the workshop, I will tell you always have a Google form up. And when I code, I like to paste the code into a Google Doc. So if I need to switch stuff out, I'm not doing it in the actual system. I know that sounds weird. So if you paste the code about halfway down, it's next to embed, allow full screen. There is the word that says watch. So if I just copy and pasted it, what that's telling them to do is just like, I just want to view it, but it's not going to show like the animation that I added in Canva. And then at the bottom, the name of the Canva template populates. I don't need single property page by Kimber Walton, Canva. We don't want that. So I just went and removed the last little bit of that. And I didn't change anything else because I am like a DC list coder. Okay, so now this page exists. So I'm going to go back to admin and organization site. So the fact that you clicked publish, and I could click it again just to show, this now is published, meaning it's available, but in website world, I didn't tell it like, where do I find this? Right now, it's just a page. So if I jump back over to organization site under admin, so I had that custom navigation on the 3 lines and then admin and organization site on the far left. And then again, if I went and did create new for navigation, and let's say I named the navigation, that's for internal. And then I went and added simple navigation item. Now I'm going to go name it. So the text I'm going to put as the, and now it's a different address. This listing is like 5 different addresses. Just kidding. But I'm just going to put the address and I'll tell you why that's cool later. And then under the link, under the item, when I go select it, the options of all the custom pages that I've ever created show. And you'll notice that one that I just created is there. So I'm going to go select that. So you can see that that's there now. And then I'm going to go click publish. So once I jump back here, yes. Yes, good point. And I actually did name this wrong. So one thing that I did was I named the navigation 10919. So now if you go to my site, it might take a second to load. Hold on. Oh, I probably didn't publish it. I don't think I published it. But yes, to your point, when I come into here, and let's say I'm in a page. Oops. I don't know if it's going to pull up the actual page, but there will be a little eyeball when I'm in the page. Yeah. Okay, so now that I've published it, I'm just going to click publish again. And now I've published it twice, but so see now there's 2 in there. So I've added 2. So what I did that was wrong, I just got to make sure it looks wrong. Yeah, so see, I went and added it as its own, so I just kind of messed it up. So I just wanted to add this one, just remove that. Okay. Okay. So now that is going to show I have recent listings as an item on the navigation menu. And then I have this as a custom page specific to that listing. Does that make sense? So like one thing I did where I had this logo up at the top, and because I can't change like the header on it or anything, it kind of looked like empty space. So I moved the logo down, right? So that's the nice thing with the customization is you can tweak it a lot. So this is our workshop that we're going to do. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So our workshop that we're going to do, we're going to go through the specific custom pages that I would add. So I would go add some type of home valuation bot on one of them. I would go add a section for my recent listings. And then I would also go and add like a customized search specific to different areas. So things like Salt Lake County under 500K. I want to call a page that Salt Lake County under 500K for more than one reason. I want to do that because if someone Googles, and Sawyer, correct me on this, if someone Googles Salt Lake County under 500K, there is a likelihood of my page being called that because it's in the URL that I will pull up in the search. I passed. Okay. So that's some of the custom stuff that we're going to do. But I didn't do this on purpose, but I also did it at the very end, just as a kind of a testament. Our sites of the ability that you can customize any website it's a lot of work. And it's a lot of like knowledge and try to figure it out. And then, but I don't want the picture. And so that's kind of why we give you the options as far as, okay, I love my KW site, but all of that page stuff, like Kimber made me want to pull out my hair. And then if you're like, no, I like kind of more of a, I want to do a customized page. Joe just left, but him paying for a site however many years ago, that's another reason why I like doing a pro site is because once I pay for the site, I have it forever. And then I'm just paying to whoever's hosting it to host it. Sawyer, do you want to talk for a few minutes about some of your, just your custom sites? And then really this training makes you realize like how much effort goes into building a website. Sawyer's like, I loved watching all of you do my job.
Yeah, that was awesome. If you have questions.
He's like, I was overwhelmed for you. Yeah.
You can hire us. So yeah, so basically we build all of our sites from the ground up. So if you do decide to go and work with agency, we build
Oh, sorry.
our sites where you don't have to code anything. I don't think any of
You
our
don't have to change it
clients-
to view, watch.
Yeah, I don't think any of our clients have touched any of our code. So if this is making you overwhelmed, this is what we are here
I'm
for. So-
overwhelmed.
Who said that?
Me. It was me,
Oh,
the teacher, the instructor.
So wanted just to show a couple examples of some of the work that we've done with some of our clients on their custom sites. So if you know Bex Nielsen, she is an agent out of this office. She is great. She came to us needing a full custom site. She was in the space where she's like growing her business, but she does a lot of different things, and she wanted a way that she could communicate all the things that she's doing within her business, and then again incorporate it and use it as a tool. So let me actually pull up her site, show you.
General, like I know some projects are larger, but in general, I'm a single agent.
Yep. Yeah.
What is like the for a project?
Yeah, we're right now. Kaylee's our magician on. She actually is coding a lot of our websites now. We're turning sites around in about a week and a half. So this like full custom site takes about a week and a half. Our site start at 2,500. But she came to us and wanted us to implement her brand. And she had a couple key points that she really wanted. So one, she has a great relationship with her lender. And so she wanted a space that she can use for her lenders. Tools and expertise, but she wants to drive it through her site. So we actually created a custom page for her lender, Spencer Allen. So now instead of her going to a listing presentation and saying, hey, you can get pre-approved, go to my lender's website. She goes, hey, check out my website. You can see all the things I'm up to. And here's your quick pre-approval button. It links to there. Hey, here's another resource that I have that my lender provides to you. But now all the traffic's going to her site. So big, we recommend that for anything. Free KW site, any way that you can take stuff that you're already doing in your business, put it on your site. She also has a Verbo, a little Hawaiian rental. So we created a page for that. She comes to us with featured listing pages. So if you don't want to create things in Canva and that seems stressful, shoot us the MLS number. We create a listing landing page. It lives on her actual domain. She can then use this on her flyers, put QR codes. Everything's linked right in here. So that is her site. One of our other favorite ones, and I'll let you guys go, was Utah Casa Group. If you guys are familiar with them, they are out of our Utah Realtors office, and they needed their site built in 2 languages. So they have a big pull in the Latino community. And then they obviously have people that speak only English and people that only speak Spanish. And so they came to us and said, my KW site just doesn't tell our story enough. You can translate your KW site. There's a little language switcher, so that's not like a novel idea, but it doesn't tell their story. So they wanted something that they could build that they can actually now, if they're talking to a Spanish speaker, their listing presentations in Spanish, all their marketing materials in Spanish, and their website is in Spanish. So they came to us, we built the entire site. It's essentially 2 sites into one. But once you click in, we worked with them to help us translate. We do not speak Spanish. So they helped us translate it, and we built the exact same user experience for their people in the Latino community. They get the exact same experience as their people that only speak English. So those are a couple of ours. We've worked with commercial agents. We've worked with solo agents, small teams, just about everything in between. And we really love what we do. So if you don't want to touch code and that seems overwhelming, come chat with us and we're happy to help. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Okay, what So what questions do you have? Yeah. When's the workshop? That's the energy. Okay, so we will send a follow-up email based on each 3 offices where we're gonna do that, we're probably gonna do a couple. So I treat this like I treated, who was here when we switched to DocuSign? That was a fun, that's where I earned my technology stripes right there, is that transition. Anytime we have something new released, especially DocuSign was way more universally used, right? Every single agent in the brokerage uses DocuSign. I do feel like just our KW websites are pretty close to that, where we're gonna have half of our agent base want to plug into their free site, and then probably half are, gonna want to do something else. So we'll probably have a couple of sessions in each market center location. But what that will do is give a broad array of options. And then you obviously don't have to attend the South Valley one if you're in South Valley. You can just attend based on the day that works. But we'll also do multiple sessions. So we have a little bit smaller group. We'll have like our, not just myself, but technology trainer in each office. And then we'll just kind of go through again, the fundamental, like, here's how we're going to set up a property landing page. Here's how we're going to set up your home bot or your home valuation capture. We'll help you set up a couple of those like core ones. Because again, your KW site works day one. The make it fancy is the like, hold my hand, help me. I don't, know how to do that necessarily. And again, like on V2, there is an option that you can pay to have somebody customize your site if that's appealing to you. So there is that total, I mean, it's not even middle ground, like it's more just like paying somebody for the time that they're gonna put into it. And then obviously, like if it's on your 2024 goals to have like a custom site, then I would say if you're even like slightly thinking about it, definitely book on that FAR Pro one. If you click that link, it just links to set up an appointment with them, and they can kind of go through that with you. So, John Jordan. The workshop's free. Oh, I was like, it's free.
Themselves, or
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
Change this to the, we'll do it for you,
Nope.
because it's so complicated.
No, no, we definitely, like, we don't, just as a, like, from me to you, right? Like, I'm a big, like, I lean in more, always into how can I help you do it, and not pay somebody to do it. And at a space of, I don't want to even look at this. You can pay someone to do it. And if you're like, I want something custom, it'll be more like, okay, we're going to go add the nav. Okay, the 10 people in the room, did you add the nav? Okay, next step. Okay, we're going to go create the page. Okay, did you create the page? And that's some of you have been with me on the journey, but South Valley, like running tech bars. Who used to come to tech bars? Where's Jake? Yes. It would just be me going like, what do you want to do? What do you want to cover? And then we'd go around, and it ended up being that universally, a lot of people in the room had the same questions. So it's going to be like, we're setting up a home valuation capture, and then we'll do that. And then again, we'll do the next one. Based on the question I asked before, where I said, okay, like, basically, what are the common things that agents use for custom pages? That's what it would be around. And I do feel the home valuation is one. And then the single listing landing pages is two. And I definitely want to train on the free options that you have. And even just like that template, like I threw together as like phase one, like even I have phase two, where I saw like Sawyer's page for Becky, and I'm like, okay, I maybe want to make a version that has like just the photo at the top. So it'll keep evolving. And DocuSign and your website, again, soapbox, everyone leave if you don't want to. DocuSign and your website alone covers your technology fee. outside of the walls of this office, like you going and getting that service is going to be the same. And so I am really big right now about if you do not have a website solution, you getting plugged into our sites. Having that going for you where you feel like you understand it, and not even just understand it, you feel like you want to drive it, like you're proud of it. To Sawyer's point, like, am I just saying like, yeah, I have a site, but don't Google it because I haven't updated it since, whenever. We've all been there, right? And I want your site, whether it's a KW site or a custom one, to be like a good representation of what I know you guys do at a high level for your clients. And if it potentially could, cost you the least amount of money for what you're getting. Because what I've realized is that a lot of the agents that are paying for a third party site outside of, because agencies within our walls, right? Outside of our walls, they're just not getting that much for having a monthly fee come out of their business account, and they sometimes they don't even notice it, right? Like we've got, I think my most common one that I go to is Pro Agent. Like Pro Agent's been around forever. It's just a very standard. I mean, I think the word Pro Agent and standard go very well together as far as their site. But if you're getting charged monthly for that and you're not driving it and you're not updating it and it doesn't link back in some way to your CRM, then like, let me help you get to our site, because it's just going to help you put yourself out there more, drive more people to it, which gets you more business, right? So, yeah. Okay, well, we will follow up. My call to action, we will follow up with what the workshops are going to be. There will be at least a couple in each location, and they are open, and we'll have a specific amount per session that can sign up, just because, again, if there's 20 people at every one, that's going to take away from the point of having the workshop. So there will be limited space in each, but we should be able to cover what everyone needs with those. And then you can attend one as long as the registration is open. You don't have to be a part of that brokerage. So,
to be on the waiting, stuff like that, so that you got your core group in your brokerage that you're gonna work with, and then you're gonna have like me,
yeah.
that's gonna wanna go to most of them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I guess if you sign up for all of them, I won't be surprised. Just kidding.
Yeah,